What's up, guys? It is Sunday, November 3rd, 2024. This is the second half of today's podcast. We just recapped UFC Edmonton. So if you missed that, go back and check out the replay of that. Now we're going to preview UFC Vegas 100. I can't believe we've made it to 100 Vegas cards. And this isn't even counting the old Vegas cards, Marcel, way back in the day. This is since they did the Apex cards. So 100 events at the Apex, man, plus the pay-per-views. It's actually more than 100. So pretty crazy. Marcel, glad to have you here once again, my friend. We're gonna recap. We're gonna preview this card, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. I think we have like 13 fights or something. So let me count them up. Actually, I'll count it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, my math was right the first time. But I like to be accurate. All right. Fight talk. What's up? Luana Pinheiro fight week. My wife, dude. Matthias Nicolas gonna beat the shit out of you for saying.
Damn, that. Dude. So we actually have the guy who makes those visuals. It's actually Matthias Nicolas. Damn, dude. I didn't know.
Oh, that's who it is. He's the guy who does the artwork.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Sean Taylor, the former, Redskin commander. That's awesome. I know he passed away. Obviously, he's a legend of the game. Antoine, what's up, man? Glad to have you here. By the way, Antoine. Big ups to you, bro, because I know that you're doing work with that fan-sided NBA blog for the Atlanta Hawks now. I see you, man. We see you out there, dude. So keep the hustle up, man, and good job with that stuff, dude. Gaston Bolanos. Yeah, we'll talk about him in a few minutes, too. So, all right, let's get into the card, Marcel. We have 13 fights. Your overall thoughts on this card, UFC Vegas 100? It feels like it was kind of thrown together last minute, to be honest with you, for all these fights, but what do you think of the card?
I would say it's a 6.5, maybe. It's not like I'm not really super hyped for it. I think there are some fun matchups on it. I actually happy that they rearranged the card because a lot of these prelims were on the main card when they first announced it. So I think this makes much more sense how it looks now. So yeah,
I mean, I completely agree. And like I remember when they had Cody Garbrandt in the prelims, and I was like, wait, what the hell? And people were like, yeah, it's because he hasn't looked very good. I'm like, what are you talking about? This doesn't make sense. Same with Robertson. Like now they're on the main card. You have co-main event and opening fight. Right, so that was just too odd for anyone, right? That didn't make any sense because at one point you had Bolanos and Cortavious on the fight, right? So
yeah, the main card,
yeah. So it was pretty odd. All right, let's get to the card. I'm gonna pull it up here. So, bout order we're gonna use is UFCstats.com, and for the odds, we're gonna use our sponsor here, Bet105.eu, guys. So they give them some love. They sponsor the podcast now. And go check them out, guys, for your betting odds and everything. Let me pull it up here, guys. Just getting the odds from them. So, yeah, it looks like they have complete odds because last week they were missing a fight. Hopefully, they're not missing one this time.
Check the private chat.
Adam. 2, 3, 4. Sure. Oh, there we go. Perfect timing. There we go. I have to manually do that, Marcel. Thank you for telling me.
No problem.
So let's get into it. Oh, comments. I'm gonna get the comments and then I'll start the fights. Yeah, I mean because he's still ranked. That's why Magny's getting the fight night headliner. Oh, congrats, man! Antoine, you're killing it.
Congrats, Antoine. Nice.
Good for you, man. We like you here, dude. So that's awesome. Blake, what's up, man? What's this? Who is that? Who's that supposed to be? He's thirsty for someone. He's thirsty for Luana.
I don't know. Tell us, Blake. Tell us.
Fights hold more importance. You're talking about Magny or someone else? Screw. Glad to have you here, by the way, man. We always appreciate your input. All right, let's start with the first fight here, Marcel. On the prelims here, we got Tresean Gore taking on Trocoli, and the odds for this one have Tresean Gore is favored -187. Trocoli, who is Mackenzie Dern's husband, +160. Also, Bobby Green's arch enemy. I'll let you start on this one. What do you think? Gore's favorite, Marcel. You like him or you like the dog?
Yeah, kind of low-level fight, in my opinion. I think it's Riley, the opening prelim. I haven't been really impressed by Tresean Gore. I think in the Ultimate Fighter, he was pretty decent. He actually went to the finals, but he got injured and never fought the final. His last fight was win over Josh Frank. If you look at Trocoli, actually was signed to the UFC right in 2019, but he used some let's say he used certain vitamins he wasn't supposed to get, and he got suspended and his contract got torn. So then he took another fight, another organization, did a fight for 3 years, and I don't know where he went with the UFC again. Fought Shara Magomedov, ran out of gas because of a short notice, and he lost the fight. I mean, this can go either way, man. I'm going with Gore here. I think Gore wins, going with the decision, but I'm not sure, man.
This is such a tough fight to pick. I think. You
Yeah.
know what? Hit the button for me. Hit it for me.
Well, there you go. Because you asked so nicely.
Listen, I'm not a fan really. I mean, I don't have a problem with either guy, but I don't think
Adam feels this as his responsibility as a huge Mackenzie Dern fan to pick Trocoli. I understand.
I just don't think either guy's that great, honestly. But the thing is with Trocoli is like, he's so big, dude. He's 6'5". He's huge. That's probably when Mackenzie Dern likes him. He's so tall. Think about it. You know, he's a huge guy, 80-inch reach, so bigger reach. He has way more experience too, and that's the thing. Gore only has 6 fights. 7 if you want. They're counting the Ultimate Fighter fight in his record. I don't know if you really should, but whatever. 7 fights compared to 15. So double the amount of experience. Listen, I don't think either guy's that good. Honestly, I really don't. This is very low level. I think the loser's getting cut 100%, Marcel. And the you know what? I'll be honest with you. One thing that swayed me a little bit was last night seeing Albazi off for 2 years. And then Gore hasn't fought in 2 years. I don't like picking guys. Or Albazi was 1.5 years, actually. Gore's 2 years, over 2 years. That's a long layoff, man. He could come back and look better. I don't know. I mean, this guy barely fights. He barely has any experience. He's a guy that got knocked away Cody Barnage. It's not good. Trocoli's got a little bit of power. He's got some good submissions. He's got some wrestling. I feel like he can win this fight.
True makes a good point. I mean, gotta be honest here.
It should be Gore so during Dumpster and Adam can slide through DMs. I know, right? Jeez, I got a chance? No. But no, honestly, Marcel, like, this is low level. I'll just take the dog, though. I think he has a chance to win because of the size and the experience. So
you sound like Izzy, but yeah.
Yeah. Decision, maybe a submission or something. I don't really know. I don't know how this fight's going to play out. Cody looked bad against Bullet. Or Cherub. He looked okay in the first round, I think, right? One of the judges I looked at the scorecards yesterday. One of the judges did give him against that. And I'll give him a little bit of slack. He took that fight in like 3 days' notice and flew across the world for it, right?
True.
So, I mean, I don't think it's the best representation of the guy. But again, I do wonder how good this guy is without his steroids anymore, right? Because he did get caught with steroids, right?
Yeah, true. But you really should stop talking because you're kind of swaying me here, and I don't want to be swayed right now. So I don't know.
No, for me, it's just the layoff and the experience disadvantage. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. Are you taking a dog too?
No, it's for you. I did it for you again.
All right. Let's go to the next fight here. We got Gaston Bolanos taking on Cortavious Romious. Originally, Marcel, this was a main card fight for some reason, and then they put it in the prelim. So the Dream Killer against Cortavious, and the odds for this one at Bet 105 have probably they have the fight. Do you know how they? See, yeah, that's the thing. They're missing a few fights, guys. So for some reason, they missed one last week, and they have this one gone. So they got to get on it, you know. But again, that's our sponsor. We like them. I'll use a competitor. Minus 180 Romious, plus 150 Bolanos. I'll let you start again. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Cortavious Romious, he better entertains us because his nickname is Are You Not Entertained? He won against Michael Imperato, your countryman, in the Dana White Contender Series earlier this year. I don't think it was an amazing fight, but was happy for him. He got signed after he got knocked out by Ramon Tavares last time in the Contender Series. I think he said like he had almost no place to sleep. He lost his job after taking the Ramon Tavares fight. I think he asked for a free day in his work, and his work was like, you don't have to come back if you go. So really nice of his former boss. He's now taking on Gaston Bolanos. If you look at Bolanos, man, I mean, he had a decent debut against Aaron Phillips. I don't think it was amazing by any means, but he won the fight. And then he lost against Marcus McGee, but Marcus McGee's a fucking dog, you know. So, I mean, I don't take that against him. I think it will be a close fight, but I have more trust in Cortavious Romious getting the win here, man. I think he can outstrike him, but he can definitely out-wrestle him pretty much, you know. So Cortavious Romious for me by decision, but I think I don't expect it to be a very fun fight, but I think the American guy wins here.
Press the button for me again. I'm digging Bolanos. I think he can knock this guy out. I don't think Romious really should be in the UFC, honestly. Like, we talked about it enough during when he got signed. I think it was one of the weakest signings of the year. It wasn't impressed with his fight. You know, hearing his post-fight interview, hearing about him sleeping on the floor because he couldn't afford a mattress, you got to feel bad for him. And I was happy he did get the deal because it's going to get him some money in his pocket. But I just wasn't too impressed. And like, it's a guy who has been knocked out before. We've seen that already. Yeah, I mean, Bolanos has UFC experience already. Bolanos is a really dangerous striker. He has experience at Bellator too. His wrestling is not great, which is the worry here, right? He gets wrestled, which is possible, but I think he can knock him out. I really do. So I'm taking Bolanos, guys. I'm going to take a shot in the dog here, and I'll take him to win by TKO. So there we go, Marcel. I actually thought you were going to pick him too, Marcel, to be honest. I don't know how close you were on this one, but okay, fair enough.
I'm pretty convinced that Romious wins, so yeah.
All right, let's see what happens then. All right, let's go to the next fight, guys.
Let's go toe-to-toe, you fuck. Let's go.
Oh, man. All right, next fight. Melissa Mullins taking on Klaudia Sygula. I think that's how you pronounce it. Might have screwed that up, but she's a UFC newcomer. Odds for this one have... Let's see here. I don't know if they have it here either. Oh, they do. Okay. Bet 105, minus 233 Mullins, plus 195 Sygula. All right. I can let you start on this one, too. Go ahead.
No, you go first this time.
Okay.
I know who I'm going to pick, but you go first.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, that's interesting. So, I didn't know who Sygula was, right? I didn't really know much about her. She's pretty attractive, too. I'll say that, Marcel. You liked Ivana Petrovic last week. You probably like this girl, too. So, check out her Instagram. So, her boyfriend's a fighter, too, I think. One of these Polish guys. I don't know if he's in KSW or whatever that. What's that other promotion, that other one that they have there?
KSW or Octagon?
No, that's another one that this girl's fighting in. I think
FEN?
Yeah, I think that's the one. So I wanted to pick her. I did. I wanted to pick her. She's got a pretty good striking. If you watch her fights, there's a bunch on YouTube. I watched a few today. She's got some good striking, but man, her ground game's terrible. Like, it's really bad. She gets taken down like by really bad fighters, and she's making her debut in the UFC against the fighter Mullins, who striking's not very good. She's been dropped in both her fights. She's 1-1 in the UFC. Hasn't been impressive, but she's got the ability to take the fight to the ground and control her opponents there, and that's why I have to pick Mullins here. I have to. I didn't want to. I was thinking about taking the dog, but I actually feel like Mullins can't control this fight. So I'm going to go with Mullins. I would never bet on her, man. I would never lay this minus 233, but I do think she wins the fight probably by decision. That's my pick here. I'm guessing you're going to take the dog. What do you think?
So, I think Melissa Mullins should change her nickname in Mullet and grow a mullet. So Melissa the Mullet Mullins. That would be great, No, I'm also on Melissa Mullins.
Oh, really? Okay.
Actually, yeah, I don't have a lot of doubt, to be really honest. I think she's pretty decent. She didn't look good against Noah Cornorle last time. She got surprisingly knocked out, in my opinion, back then. But I think she wins. I think she can finish her even. I'm going with a submission win, actually. I don't think she has a submission win in her MMA career yet, but I think she will get one here. I'm going with Melissa Mullins by finish.
There you go. All right. I honestly wasn't sure what you were going to say, but glad to have the same pick as you, my friend. You saw it on the tape too. Yeah, she can be taken down like crazy, guys. It's easy. Adam the Contrarian Martin. Lately, and it hasn't really worked out, but I actually feel like those first two dogs will win. Mullins is kind of fine. I think she's divorced now, so Antoine, slide in those DMs, man. Right? She was with that guy. She changed her name, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dixon.
See? There you go. So she's divorced. Antoine, slide in those DMs, my friend. All right, let's go to the next fight here. All right, this fight is this is a two bantamweight fight. The two bantamweights, they aren't ranked, but both pretty close. I think to the top 15. Cody Stamann against Stamann Blackshear. Odds here at bet 105. Blackshear minus 288. Stamann plus 235. I'm taking Blackshear. No doubt. This is one I have no doubt in my mind he wins. Really impressed by Stamann Blackshear. I think he's looked pretty great since coming back to the UFC. Marcel, I think he had a couple tough fights here with Montel Jackson and Batista, but the Batista fight honestly could have went either way.
Close fight,
and then the Jackson fight, Montel Jackson's just good. It can happen to anyone. The other fights were pretty impressive, especially the win over Jose Johnson, who apparently is not paying his child support, by the way. That's on Twitter now. Not good at all. And it was a nice performance of that submission. I think his ground game is super legit, man. Cody, obviously great wrestler, and that's why they made this fight, right? Because they want to see, okay, if you can't get the guy down, the striking, is it going to be enough? I think it will be. I think Stamann at this point, you have to kind of fade him ourselves. I think he's been through a lot of wars, taking a lot of damage. I don't think he's looked very good lately, especially. So, yeah, they're both going to have 2 straight losses, but, I feel like Blackshear still has more juice in the tank. So I'm going Blackshear. I think he probably wins the decision. What do you think?
Yeah, man. By the way, they both they both won against Luana, right?
Is he
So
still in the UFC or no? That
I
guy?
think so. Yeah, but he replied to that fight announcement on my Instagram. He replied with, "Hey, my two dads are fighting."
You gotta love that. That's
Yeah.
funny.
But I'm with you. Yeah, man. I think the Blackshear has more upside in this fight. I think Cody Stamann is a little bit like, I won't say declining, but he was one stop 15, but I don't see him running it back there. And I think the Blackshear has looked pretty decent. Besides that Montel Jackson fight, of course. So, and that Batista fight, I think that was like 1 or 2 weeks after the Jose Johnson fight. He took that on short notice for Cody Garbrandt
Great
as
point.
replacement. So yeah, I'm picking the Blackshear here. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a finish, but I'll go with decision. I think that's more safe.
This fight's on Cody's birthday. That's an interesting tidbit. The last fighter that had a fight on their birthday was Rafael dos Anjos, and he got destroyed. His knees screwed up, and that could have been the last fight of his career. Who knows, right? So
it was a bad birthday gift.
Yeah, shit. So hopefully Cody has a better birthday, but for the sake of my bet, because I'm probably gonna bet on Blackshear here. Hopefully not. I think Blackshear wins. I'm pretty convinced he wins this one, Marcel. It's my most confident pick so far. I'll say that.
Right.
Next fight here, we got Samurai the Jedi, Matthew Semelsberger taking on Charles Chuck Buffalo Radtke. The odds for this one have bet 105 minus 160 Radtke plus 138 Semelsberger. I'm going to Charles Radtke in this one, Marcel. From what I heard, Semelsberger was basically done. He had lost 3 straight fights and he was considering retirement. But came back for this fight. I think it's going to be a good scrap. I think they'll both come to fight. They're both guys that have been in a lot of wars. But to me, like Radtke, probably a little bit more. I know he coming off that locker loss to Prates. I get that, but I think he still is the more durable guy. I think he has some serious knockout power. Both guys do. I mean, we've seen both guys have some crazy fast knockouts, especially Semelsberger has 2 sub-minute knockouts in the UFC. I just feel like Semelsberger is taking a lot of damage though. I mean, his chin is kind of going. I think it'll be a fun fight. I think Radtke knocks him out. So I'm going with Radtke. Get the knockout. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I always have to laugh with Semelsberger when I tag him in fight announcements. He always untags himself. But
I thought you were going to say because you get hungry when you see his name or something.
No. That was with the TJ Wahlberger.
Yeah, I remember him. That guy's chin was terrible, right? But his ground game was sick. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. I'm also on Charles Radtke here, man. I think Semelsberger, he's a fun fighter, but he takes way too much damage, in my opinion. And Charles Radtke, he lost to Carlos Prates. Hey, man, can happen. He looked really good against Gilbert Urbina with the fight there before. And his debut against Blood Diamond, I think only his post-fight speech was pretty memorable from that fight. So, but yeah, I'm going with Radtke here. I think he wins the fight. Does he get the finish? Maybe with his ground game. I think he's pretty decent. Decision is more safe. Again, decision for Charles Radtke. I think he wins all 3 rounds.
All right, fair enough. Let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have middleweights. Mansur Abdul-Malik making his debut in the UFC against Dusko Todorovic. Odds here at bet 105. Minus 353 on Mansur. Plus 280 on Dusko. Yeah, I mean, listen, I can't pick Dusko, Marcel. I like the guy. I like your boy Stefan Struve's doppelganger, Marcel, but I can't pick him. I can't do it. I mean, at this point of his career, he's just, serious durability issue again. And his takedown defense is terrible. 45% is bad. Mansur's coming off that pretty nice win in the contender against Wes Schultz. Got the brutal stoppage, gets the contract. This is his debut against the guy with 6 or 7 UFC fights, I guess it is now. Yeah, 7 fights. But I still think he's just a better fighter. He's going to win. The odds are heavy, but I think he probably stops Dusko with ground and pound. So, yeah, Mansur wins. What do you think?
Yeah, man, Struhovic hasn't looked great as of lately, And if you look at Mansur Abdul-Malik, honestly, I'd said to you after the contenders, I don't think it was an amazing fight, to be really honest,
It wasn't, but he still got the finish, right?
Yeah, he got the finish and he got the contract, but I was really on the fence. At the same time, I think this is a very good debut fight for him, I think he can finish Dusko. Dusko takes risks. It's not really consistent. Abdul-Malik is the pretty obvious pick here, I think, and I also think he wins by finish probably. So
yeah, no, I agree with this with you. All right, let's go to
the next fight should have been on the main card, by the way.
This one, yeah. So we have this is a really interesting fight. So we have a rematch
from the debut
in the welterweight division between Elizeu, Zaleski, Dos Santos, and Nicolas Dalby. These guys fought back in 2015 on the Condit Alves card. It was both their debuts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right? And it was a split decision win for Nicolas Dalby.
In Brazil.
Yeah, so bet 105. We have the odds here. Minus 112, Dalby. Minus 102, the Santos. Once again, closely lined fight. I actually think they're both really good fighters. I think they're both, I don't think either is ranked, right? But they're both like top 25, I would say, Marcel. I think they're both pretty good fighters.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
close.
Dalby, honestly, though, is probably one of the most underrated guys in the UFC. Had he gotten that decision over Renat, which was a close fight. I mean, I thought Renat won, but it was like barely a win. Had he gotten that win, he'd be pretty far ahead right now in his career, but he unfortunately ended up getting the loss there. And it's not like they put him that far back, though. I mean, Dos Santos is a good fighter. He's a quality fighter. They both actually fought Renat. I think they have several common opponents, Marcel.
Yeah, who's the dog here?
It's basically even, but it's minus 112, Dalby, minus 102, Dos Santos. So they're both minus money, but Dalby's a slight favorite, very, very slight. It's like 51% basically. I actually think that this fight kind of plays out like the first fight. I know it was like 9 years ago, I should say. I think it's gonna be close. The striking will be competitive, but I think that Dalby has better cardio, and I think he's got the wrestling too to make it interesting. So the first fight, the Santos outlanded him, but Dalby had 6 takedowns. I think he'll mix in a few takedowns here to win the decision. I like Dalby to win the decision. I think he wins a 29-28 decision. What do you think?
Same thing. Dalby is super durable. We all know that. He got the cardio to go for 3 rounds. Zaleski.
Is he going to do that breathing thing again?
Yeah, I hope I hope at least the mic is not on too close to him, because that was really annoying last time. But at the same time, man, I have a lot of respect for Dalby. Also have a lot of respect for Zaleski. I think they're both veterans. They're both looking still pretty good. Although Zaleski lost to Brown last time, and he got that draw against Renat. I'm picking Dalby here, man. I think he wins at least 2 out of 3 rounds, and he wins the 29-28. Like you, man. I felt exactly the same, actually.
Dalby's 7-4-1-1 in the UFC, and Zaleski is 10-4-1. So I mean, they both have good records, winning records, and Zaleski has that knockout win over Sean Strickland, which is aged really well, and Saint Denis he destroyed too, right? Which was a great win. So, but again, I feel like matchup wise, Dalby, it's a good fight for him, I think. So yeah, I mean, he's a small favorite. It's probably worth a shot, So
I agree.
At those odds. All right, let's go to the next fight here. We got main card opener here, Marcel. Luana Pinheiro taking on Gillian Robertson. And the odds for this one, bet 105 have Gillian Robertson minus 302, Luana plus 245. And I like Gillian Robertson. I think she dominates this fight. I really do. I think Luana's ground game is pretty bad. Getting submitted by Angela Hill is just a bad look, any way you put it. I think as time's gone on, Luana is just kind of showing that she's not as great as maybe I thought at first. I thought she'd be a really good prospect, and I haven't been too impressed with her lately at all. Gillian's looking better than ever. Her last 2 fights were incredible. Pollyanna destroyed her. Michelle Watterson Gomez destroyed her. She looked really well at 125. Definitely made a good 115, excuse me. Made that great decision to drop in weight, go down 10 pounds. I think she looked phenomenal, and her ground game really plays up well here. I think she just dominates this fight on the ground, and I think she submits, or maybe ground and pound even against Pinheiro. But yeah, I have no doubt she wins, and I think she finishes the fight. She's a big favorite. I think it's completely justified. What do you think?
Luana's best win in the UFC is Sam Hughes, because the Michelle Watterson, I still think she got lucky in that one. And the Randa Marcos, weird as DQ.
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't looked as great as of lately, and Gillian Robertson actually looks great as of lately. I think she's looking better every time I see her in the octagon. She only lost recently to Ricci in the last 5 fights, I think. So overall, she looked good. She destroyed Michelle Watterson last time out. I'm picking Robertson here. I'm also picking her by finish. I'm picking her by submission. I think first or second round. This is one of my most confident picks on the card.
Yeah. I think so too. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have Gerald Meerschaert taking on Reinier de Ridder, making his UFC debut. I know, Marcel, you're hyped up about this one, right?
Of course, man. Reinier.
Before I get into it, you must be excited about him making his debut, right?
Yeah, about time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, odds for this one have, let's see here. Yeah. Bet 105 has de Ridder minus 295 favorite, Meerschaert plus 240. So it's interesting, right? Because this guy's making his debut. And Gerald's the guy that, Marcel, how many upsets he pulled off, right? So many. And he finishes these guys too. So, part of me is sprinkle on Meerschaert by submission again, right? But actually, as crazy as it sounds, I think he's going to be the one getting submitted in this fight. That's what I think happens. I kind of feel like Renier de Ridder is going to show that there are some levels to this, and I know he hasn't fought in the UFC yet, man. But like in one, he was nothing but impressive, and it's to me, he's one of those guys that was like ready for the UFC for a while. They call him the Dutch Knight, Marcel. You gotta love that nickname, eh?
You know why? You know why that's funny? They call him the Dutch Knight.
Why?
Because the Ridder means the knight in English.
Really? That's hilarious.
So it's actually Renier, the Dutch Knight, the knight.
The only way I think the Ridder loses really is if he gasses out, like from an adrenaline dump, which is it's always possible in the octagon debut, right? But I feel like most likely, Marcel, I feel like he'll be able to get Gerald down, control him, and I think he submits Gerald. Gerald's been submitted before. It's not he has in the UFC. It's been a while, but it's happened. So yeah, he's the guy who submits everyone, but he's been submitted too. I think he gets submitted. I think de Ridder gets the win here, and I think he wins a bonus too. I think it's going to be a good debut for him. So love you, Gerald, but I can't pick you in this one, man. Going with de Ridder. What do you think?
The funny thing is, like, I think Meerschaert has a better chance to knock him out than to submit him. And a lot of people are like, Meerschaert submission because they know how good he is on the ground. But Meerschaert is great, and I love Gerald Meerschaert. I think he's a great dude, But Renier de Ridder is really, really, really good on the ground,
Yeah.
And he lost 2 fights in one championship against Anatoly Malikin, against a dude who is a fucking heavyweight, who is an absolute monster. And he gassed out against him, and he got knocked out against him. So this is at middleweight. I think Renier hasn't made middleweight for like 5 years or something, because the middleweight and one was 205 actually. But this is actually his normal weight class, middleweight. He's just super good on the ground, man. He's really like high level. He also went to that high level BJJ guy on one. He fought to a draw, I think, with him. Sertolo. I'm picking Renier here. I also think he wins by submission. I think he finishes first or second. Probably first. Listen, if this goes to a second round, Gerald actually has a chance to knock him out, I think. So I think he gets Gerald down. He probably goes for the first round submission. And this and there's no shame in losing to Renier de Ridder by submission. He's really good, man. And he also said, I don't know if you see, I think he gave a lot of Dutch interviews as well. And he's like, dude, I'm not even looking to strike with Gerald. I'm going immediately for a takedown, climb on his neck, grab the rear naked choke, out, and fight somebody in top 15 next time. That's his goal. And the funny thing is, he actually was supposed to go train in Kilcliff. That was the plan. But then he got Gerald, and he called with Henry Hooft. He's like, maybe we should do it next time, because I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to bother Gerald. It's like, for sure. So they trained actually together before, Gerald and Renier, for a short time period.
I found that interesting too. I just checked, by the way. Gerald's been submitted 8 times, including a submission loss against the GOAT, Jay Ellis. Yeah. I like how you knew who it was. Tristan, what's up, man? Do you guys think this fight will determine how far you are to go to the UFC? Yeah, I mean, it's Gerald's a gatekeeper, right?
The thing is, I think it's really smart matchmaking from the UFC, because there are a lot of fans who only watch the UFC and they don't know Renier de Ridder. And if he gets a finish here over Gerald Meerschaert, who the fans know is known for his comebacks, is known for his submissions, is the leader in submission wins in the middleweight division and with finishes, and he finishes him by submission, that's big. Then people are like, oh, who is this dude? He's interesting. So I think it's a really smart matchmaking from the UFC. And listen, if he loses to Gerald Meerschaert, I mean, then we know pretty much that he probably is not going to get for a run in the division pretty soon, because Gerald is kind of like, I don't want to call him a gatekeeper, but he's kind of is, it's kind of what he is right now. But he's really, really good,
For sure. All right, let's go to the next fight here. We have fun fight here, Marcel, as well. We have, by the way, we've got Lazy Bad saying the first time he's catching us live. Hey, man, glad to have you here, dude.
What's up, man?
Appreciate you coming in, man. All right, you got here just in time for Ricky Turcios taking on Bernardo Sopai, who is coming off one of the better knockouts of the year, right, Marcel?
It was a great fight, by the way, against Oliveira.
Well, I guess he got knocked out.
Yeah.
But it's, what's the guy's name? I forgot now.
Finishes Oliveira.
Yeah, Oliveira, who had that crazy win over, was it Ricky Simon, right? He looks like a hell of a prospect. All right, so we'll go to this fight, guys. The odds for this one, Sopai minus 270, Turcios plus 220. So that's the thing. Like, this guy he won fight of the night. It was an amazing fight. He was pretty much winning the fight, and then I guess he kind of gassed out a bit, right? It was his debut on short notice, too. It's worth mentioning. He's a very, very high-level prospect. Bernardo Sopai. Oh, I guess they've changed the name again, because they've changed it a few times, by the way. It's Bernardo, not Bernardo, right?
Yeah, it's only with one R at the end.
Yeah. I know some other websites have it listed wrong, but anyways, Turcios, man, I gotta be honest, he just doesn't do it for me anymore. So I feel like he's kind of a gatekeeper at this point. He won the Ultimate Fighter against Brady Heastand. It was a very close fight, edged out, and then since then, kind of disappointing. Barely beat Kevin Natividad, who wasn't good at all in the UFC. Lost to Eamon Zahabi, which aged kind of not that bad, and then the Raul Rosas fight, gets submitted there too. Not very impressive. So inconsistent, and I feel like they're feeding this prospect to him. And this guy, if he comes in there with more gas in the tank, with a full camp, he should win. And the question is, like, does he submit him or knock him out? I think it's possible he knocks him out. I think it's possible. Most of his wins are by knockout. Manny Martinez knocked out Turcios. I think Sopai probably knocks him out. The odds are, I gotta be honest, the odds are a little bit high, but for a guy coming off a brutal knockout loss, at the same time, I can't pick Turcios. I'm taking Sopai by knockout. What do you think, Ben?
I think Ricky is a fun dude, but he's like really inconsistent. I think he did pretty well against Raul Rosas. He
First
almost
round,
had him,
I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but Rosas came out and he finished him. Sopai, he's been like on the regional scene. He's been like doing really well. He got the short notice call to fight Oliveira, and he lost a very competitive fight, which went to fight on the night. One of the better fights of the year, I think, and one of the better knockouts. Unfortunately, was for his opponent. I'm having Sopai here as well. Actually, I think he wins. I'm picking him also by finish, going with a TKO win in the second round. I think Bernardo Sopai. Yeah.
There we go. Ricky Turcios picked a great time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all that interview. Remember he was saying that? Like, times. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's a joker. He's got a good personality and everything, but yeah. By the way, H1's asking how many. So if RDR, if he beats GM3, I don't want to say that.
He gets a ranked opponent if he beats GM3.
Yeah,
I can guarantee you that.
GM3 is the gatekeeper. So that would be it. All right, let's go to the next fight here, Marcel. We have Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Again, another Polish fighter on this card. There's been a few of them taking on Denise Gomes. Odds for this one, bet 105 has Gomes. Wow, Gomes is a huge favorite. Minus 503. Karolina plus 375. So immediately, this feels like a
15
big long.
years.
Yeah, I know. It's listen, Karolina is definitely up there in age, no doubt, but this line feels really hefty, guys. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not picking her. I'm gonna pick Gomes because, again, way younger. She's been pretty impressive, I think, in the UFC overall, coming off a nice win over Moore, where she was getting taken down, but again, getting back up, outstriking her opponent in the feet. It's just minus 500 is a heavy line. I wouldn't play that in the women's MMA fight because the fight probably goes the distance. Karolina is like tough as hell, so I don't think she gets knocked out. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think so. It probably goes the distance, and it'll be competitive if Karolina can make some takedowns. I can't pick Karolina, but I feel like these odds are way too high, guys. Personally, what do you guys think? Like, and Cruz saying, how does she win? I think if she out grapples her, I'm not picking her, True, but if you want to play the minus 500, go for it. You're probably right. She probably wins. It just seems high to me, so I'm going to stay away from Marcel. I'll take Gomes by decision. Karolina eats so much damage. She wears it. Her face will be beat up. Her eyes going to be busted. But the thing is, again, it is MMA, and Gomes can get taken down. So that's how she'd win. She'd have to take her down, I think. I don't think it happens, but at minus 500, I wouldn't take the chance. What do you think, man?
Yeah, by the way, shout out Mike's MMA picks.
Mike's in the chat too. What's up, Mike? Thanks for the comment, man. And guys, check out Mike's MMA picks on Twitter, and I think he's got a YouTube channel going now too. So there you go.
I'm also on Denise Gomes here. I think.
Are you super confident though? Like a minus 500?
I'm pretty confident. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't see Karolina winning here. How do I see her winning? With grappling, or grappling is also not that amazing. You know what I mean? I think Gomez kind of like the vicious sister of Jessica Andrade. So, I think Gomez wins. I even see her finishing her. I wouldn't be surprised if she knocked. I'm even going with a knockout in the first round. I'm just doing it.
She did knock her out, I guess, all those years ago, that crazy knockout. So.
I mean, her sister got to do it as well. So, yeah, I'm going with it.
There you go. All right. Hey, man, it's minus 500, True. I mean, you're kind of making an argument for a fight that, most people think is going to be a blowout. Like, I'm not really playing devil's advocate here. I just feel like the line's a little heavy,
True, I sent you another picture, dude.
You guys are right. I mean, maybe I'm not. I don't know why I'm not as confident as you guys, I guess. Just because I've seen Gomes lose. It's not like she's unbeatable. She's lost.
We see Karolina lose as well,
Yeah, I know, but
So
remember
it's
Loma out wrestled her. Loma took her down. I know she's improved since then.
was a short notice fight, man, for Gomez,
All
right?
Yeah, and Angela Hill out wrestled her too, man. I mean, that's not
What's not a short notice fight, man.
Joe, Adam, Marcel, you guys are awesome, man. Always delivered news and great pocket. Hey, dude, love it, right? Look at that, Marcel. Get some
Thanks,
love
Joe.
here. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
KK via Corley Sprouting and Tyson Lee against the cage. Oh, I love that. You gotta love that, Marcel.
Yeah.
Joe says he wouldn't be shocked if Carolina won. There you go. All right. Let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have co-main event already. Wow. Cody Garbrandt taking on Miles Johns. Odds for this one, bet 105. We have Miles Johns favored minus 145, Garbrandt plus 126. I'm taking Miles Johns. I think he wins the fight, Marcel. Not only do I think he wins, I actually think he can knock Cody Garbrandt out, and this would be the win he needs to like really push himself up in the stacked division. I think Johns will be the more effective striker and avoid any grappling in this fight and just knock him out. So it's a good matchup, I think, for Miles, and I think he knocks him out. There you go. What do you think?
Yeah, I knew about this fight before Miles knew. That's actually funny.
That's crazy.
Because I was like, I could tell the story, who cares? So I was like trying to confirm the fight. I was like, Miles, is it true you're fighting Cody Garbrandt? He's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, okay, yeah, I got told that you're fighting him. He's like, I haven't heard anything. I was like, yeah, I'm serious. He's like, okay, I'm watching my phone. And then 2 days later, he's like, yeah, man, that's true. So, yeah, man, fun fight. Yeah, this is the chance that Miles Johns needs, like you said, to put himself in that bantamweight category where people actually seeing him and noticing him, because Cody's still a name. You know, he's a former champion. I think Johns wins. I don't think he puts him away, but I think he uses a lot of grappling as well in the fight, and he wins the fight by decision. That's what I think.
There you go. All right, let's go to the I'm gonna get this question first, Antoine. I asked about Loma. And if they did Antomweight, yes, Atomweight. Sorry, Atomweight, not Atomweight.
Atomweight.
They should change it to Atomweight. No, Atomweight. Dude, I think she could maybe be a champ there. Maybe. Are they going to add that division? I know Mick Maynard's not a fan of it, right? Apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, but Mick Maynard's a fan of Shannon Clark, so.
But Mick Maynard can read you a book to sleep, right? You know what? Mick Maynard's the guy you're going to sit there and with, like you said, with a nice cup of cocoa, right, or hot chocolate, and a nice winter night, Marcel, with the fireplace on, and you're going to be sitting there watching Romanov and Nascimento.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, you know who has which division from the matchmakers, right? And mix fights are always quicker than Sean Shelby's fights.
What do you mean?
When fights get announced by certain outlets or by myself or whatever, you always see like the women fights are most early announced, you know, and also like I also think he does the heavyweight, the light heavyweight, and those are always earlier filled than the other categories. So he's always quicker than Sean Shelby.
There you go, and he gets the weigh-ins quicker than Sean Shelby. He takes the sweet ass time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's man. I know I'm just sitting at home and I'm watching and I'm working, but it's so fucking annoying when the last guy weighed in and then they're waiting like 40 or 45 minutes for squaring them off. It doesn't make sense, you know.
Yeah, I know. True says that it's going to be a terrible fight to watch. I'm assuming you're talking about Garbrandt and Johns. If it goes the distance, it might not be great, but I think he can knock him out, honestly. Kristen says, "Do you guys think Khamzat Chimaev is the best fighter in the UFC right now?" I don't think so, personally.
He's good.
He's great. I mean, he's great. Like, there's nothing. I can't say anything bad about him, really. It's just, I still think he's unproven a little bit. And I understand Branty Whitaker, but
you know what actually
I want to see
fucking
him
sucks?
tested in a fight for like more time.
Yeah, that's actually what fucking sucks. You know, he did great against Whitaker, and he looks like a world beater, which he is in the first round. The thing is, like, how does he do in the second, third, and fourth round? But the thing is, if he doesn't get there,
if he doesn't get there,
he does amazing. You know what I mean?
Hey, he's looked great. There's nothing. There's literally nothing negative you can say about that performance. But I agree with True. I mean, he's still not the champion, so until he gets there, I wouldn't say that. All right, and as far as the best fighter in the UFC right now, it's probably Islam or Topuria, I would say, right, Marcel? I mean, Poirier's up there too, but I think probably Islam or Topuria. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I agree. Islam or Topuria. I don't even. Many people will say Alex. I don't agree with that, but
I mean, Alex is great, but I think those other guys, probably Topuria's never lost. Islam did lose against Adriano Martinez, Marcel. Wink, wink, right? And John Jones. I mean, for a couple of Jones, I didn't forget him. When he hasn't fought, he barely fights. He's fighting next week. Yeah, right now I'd say one of those two guys. By the way, this comment's hilarious. I'm taking everything John Morgan wore for that blue polo shirt. Dude, I feel like this is the same shirt John wears. So the story about John, I think from what I heard, he wears the shirt because like I think his son or his kid watches the fights and then they can spot him like outside the cage because he has the shirt on. So John's a good dude, man. I met him a few times in person. He's an awesome guy. All right, let's go to the next fight here. We have the main event, guys, of UFC Vegas 100. Neil Magny taking on Carlos Prates. The odds here finally at 105. Prates minus 773 favorite. Neil Magny plus 525. See, it seems high, but I don't think so. I feel like it's accurate. I think he knocks him out. I think he knocks him out early. Magny's going to have to grapple to win, you know. Magny's got more experience. He obviously has great cardio and everything, but, dude, I really don't think he could survive a couple rounds with Prates. Prates is just so dangerous. Prates has looked incredible in the UFC. 5 knockdowns in 3 fights, 3 knockouts, 3 bonuses. The Li Jingliang fight especially was just beyond impressive. I mean, again, the odds are high, but I still think he knocks him out. That's the thing. Like with the Gomes fight, I feel like that might go get the judges involved, which scares me. This one doesn't. Like,
can I ask you something?
Yeah, you can ask me a question. Go ahead.
Do you think Magny is going to try to grapple here?
He has to, I think, right?
Yeah.
Unless, you know, Giles did outstrike him a little bit from the outside. Maybe he could have some success, but I still think it's playing a dangerous game with this guy. He's like dynamite in his hands, dude. I believe in Prates. I actually think Prates is super, super fucking legit. I think he could be a guy that fights in the top 10 soon. So I'm on him. I think he wins. Go ahead.
You should have done a bandage here for the fun for this podcast. You know, the fighting nerds with the with the glasses. It would have been fun if you did that.
I know I should have been.
Yeah. I'm also proud. I'm also proud this year, man. I mean, I like Magny a lot. I think he's a great fighter, but I cannot pick him here, you know. Prates has too much knockout power. If he lands a bomb, he probably puts away Magny. If you look at how great he fought against Li Jingliang, man, I think that was impressive. I wasn't impressed by the Giles fight. A lot of people were, but he knocked him out. So what can you say? And the Radtke fight was pretty rad. How we knocked him out with the punch to the stomach. I don't know if it was a liver punch, but it was to the stomach. So to the body, I should say. Yeah, great finishes so far from him, and I think he will continue doing that. So, for me, Carlos Prates, I think he puts away Magny with a knockout here.
Yeah, there we go. Same pick.
I wasn't need to deliver. I'm sorry, True.
It was a nasty. His Muay Thai is like top notch.
Listen, True, it's the how do you say that, the encyclopedia or whatever.
True watches more tape than anyone else of you. I still don't know what you do for work, True. Do you, like, I know you said you own a business or something, but it feels like you're always watching tape.
True. True probably even has tape we don't even know about. You know, he probably also has that part of tape that should have.
He has those glasses that Mark Zuckerberg was talking about, where you can watch things in your glasses. That's what he does. All right, let's get some other comments here. By the way, Prates and Jeff, that would be a great fight. You know, Jeff is in a weird spot because I feel like he thinks he's close to a title shot right now, but I don't think he is. No. You know, Jeff. By the way, Jeff lost to Neil Magny, so it just shows you Magny and Magny beat him a lot too, right, Marcel? You can never completely write him out. Magny has a shot to catch Prates during a smoke break. Does that worry you at all, though, going forward? Like that he is like a cigarette smoker. Does that worry you at all?
No, man. There are so many people in sports who smoke. You know, I don't think it's that much of a problem. I think, listen, should you promote it? I don't think so. But at the same time, I don't mind. You know, I think people should do whatever they want to do.
He fights in a cage for a living, so
yeah. I mean, a lot of you guys call it soccer, we call it football. All these players will also smoke, who are really hesitant to show it. It's like if you do it and it doesn't influence your how do you say that your showing what you do, your performance. Exactly, that was the word I'm searching for. If it doesn't affect your performance, I mean, why not? You know, maybe in the long term it will. But who am I to judge?
Yeah, no, you're right. Excuse me. I'm coughing because you're talking about smoking, apparently.
Because I'm drinking, smoking, straight wet coasting, bitches, Putin. Sorry, I cannot go for
That's okay. No, I'm just getting over a cold, though, so I'm still coughing a bit. Last week, I think I was doing it more. All right, a couple of comments. Magny is shot. Or sorry, read that one. It's crazy, Magny. I think if you get to the first round, you can win. Maybe the second round, because I think Prates is still really dangerous in round 2. Prates smoked Magny like a built through this Pall Mall. Yeah. Prates MVP. Maybe. MVP called out. Who did he call out again? Shara?
Shara, yeah, because he called out his boy Israel.
He just beat Condit at some grappling event, too. Carlos Condit, I can't believe he's still competing. But
yeah.
How do you guys think about Magny during his debut? So I think didn't he lose his debut to like that John Manley guy? Isn't that, am I wrong for?
Yeah, and on the Ultimate Fighter finale, right?
No, he beat him. Sorry, he beat him. My bad.
Oh, he got knocked out by Ricci.
Yeah, not Al, Mike Ricci. Yeah, my bad. So he
Canadian dude.
It was an elbow, right? It was a crazy elbow. Yeah.
And he looked really good, man. I remember the Ultimate Fighter.
Honestly, Magny was like an underdog, like a bunch of his fights at the beginning. I remember he fought like that Gaston and Umoanta fight. Like I remember he fought Seth Brzezinski, who's not that good. Like I picked Brzezinski and he beat him. But yeah, I mean, Magny's had a good career, man. Magny stuck around way longer than anyone else would have thought. Like no one would have ever thought he'd have the most wins at welterweight, right?
Bro,
he has more than GSP, doesn't he?
Yeah. Bro, there are some of these fights, if I look back on it, I'm like, how could I do it? For example, I picked Clint Hastler over Robert Whittaker.
Yeah, I remember I did too. I'm like, why is Whittaker moving weight classes? Well, we saw what happened. You know what was actually, Magny when he fought Kelvin Gastelum, which was a great fight. It was like
it was in Mexico, right?
Yeah, but I thought Gastelum would win easily, and he lost, right? So, I mean, and even the Hector Lombard fight too. I think Hector was beating the shit out of him and he came back and won. He's had so many crazy comebacks, man. Huh?
Do you know my name, Hector? Anthony Smith.
yeah. Hector Lombard, Shango.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of nicknames. Hector, what was his other nickname? Shango, and then what was the other one?
Hector. Jeez.
Hold on, I got. Whenever this happens, I have to know. Lightning. I think there was the other one.
Yeah.
And then I think there was one more. I think there was another one. But Showweather. That was the one. Showweather. Remember he changed that? That was weird. Anyways, a couple comments here. How do you guys think Mansur Abdul-Malik will do?
Stoppage.
Yeah, I think he wins by knockout too. We both like him. We have Marcel rapping on a bingo. Marcel listens to a lot of rap. He loves it. It's so hard for these guys to stay in the UFC 10 plus years. It is. Yeah, you'll take a couple questions. A few. Magny and Michael Johnson will lose spectacularly beat. Hey, dude, Michael Johnson has like wins over Dustin Poirier, Tony Ferguson, and what's the other one he has? He's got another big one too. He's got a few, but those two were
Dustin Poirier, Tony Ferguson, and Bobby Green, I think, as well.
Is that the one? I'm gonna check it right now. There was one other big one I think he had. Barboza.
Barboza.
Yeah, I think that's a really quality win. You know,
and he got a good chance, man. He got Altman Azaitar, I think, in Tampa.
Yeah, he does. He's how old? Michael now? 40, 38. The Menace. Paul the Menace. Yeah, no worries, man. Ask any question you want. Should we start letting record holders in the UFC Hall of Fame like Derek Lewis, most knockouts, Magny for most wins, or GM3?
They should do something.
They got to do some sort of wing, some sort of extra wing, because again,
the record wing.
Yeah, as time goes on, it's going to happen. But I do think it's guys like Jim Miller, I think should get in Arlovsky. But at some point, Marcel, you're going to see a lot of guys like Neil Magny. To me,
Arlovsky, but Arlovsky should be in there.
Yeah, he's a champion too, former champion. Neil Magny to me is not a Hall of Fame fighter. I don't think.
I agree.
Again, he's probably going to have the most wins of all time in this division, but. By the way, Lazy Bed says he's enjoying it and subscribing. We appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Thank you,
we usually do every podcast every Sunday, I should say. I don't think we've missed a week ever, to be honest with you, Marcel. We've done every week. Even when my kid was born, when I went on vacation, when Marcel was taking a huge shit, we've always did the podcast.
I honestly think that I might have skipped one, but it was without the preview or recap. It was like just announcement show, I might have skipped one, but that's
you're too cool for school. Thoughts on Mansur by knockout, RDR by sub to Leggy? I think they both win. Listen, Blake. I'm not a huge guy with props, but I think they both win. Will UFC add a big fight 310? They just added a fight today. Alex Bahunin announced it. It was Nate Landwehr versus Hugo Choi. Fun fight. I mean, that could easily be fight of the night, right?
Yeah, but that already tells you if they add in another one that probably something is getting scrapped. So
Bilal and Shavkat scratched.
Yeah, but Fiorentina is also scrapped against Tatiana.
So that replaces that.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about the main event? We didn't even talk about this. Bilal's obviously out, guys.
The only thing possible.
Is it going to be Usman?
That's the only thing that is possible if they want to keep Shavkat on the card, and they have to make it an interim title, probably.
Usman Shavkat interim belt. And to be honest with you,
and that's going to headline.
Is it not as big of a fight as Bilal? It's not bigger.
Yeah, but
it was.
Oh yeah, also got to take in mind, if they do Pantoja headline Asakura hasn't made weight for 6-7 years at 125. They can't do that,
Yeah,
so
I think it's going to be Kamaru. I really just think it's going to be him. He's lost 3 straight fights. I get that, but 2 fights against Leon. First fight, head kick. Second fight, close. Hamza fight close.
Adam, I don't love it, but let's be honest, man. It's for Usman pretty much the only way to get back to the top. If he wins here against Shavkat, he gets the next title shot. So.
Yeah, and they just announced Ian Machado Gary taking Machado Gary. I don't know if you saw the poster. This is Machado Gary's Buckley.
Bro, I laughed so much about a quote tweet of what somebody did with that fight announcement. Somebody say Buckley is fighting Cuckley.
So, by the way, the odds came out for that. I think it's -260 for Machado Gary, so he's a pretty big favorite.
Marcel Scuti has a mustache.
You know, I am glad they made that fight though, because I was convinced it was going to be Amanda Hebus and Mackenzie Dern too. I know you were thinking that too for a bit, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when they deleted that tweet with the fight announcer. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, they're waiting to announce this as the main event. Michael rocked Khabib at one point.
Yeah, true. First round.
He has some power, man. Tough fight for Dalby. Yeah, we both picked Dalby by decision. A decision, right? I think.
Yeah.
Who's the best option for Max? That's a great question too. Yeah, I mean, he definitely has to go back to lightweight. He's already announced this. A lot of people want to see the Poirier trilogy fight. I don't mind it, but to be honest with you, man, Dustin dominated Max in 2 fights. Now the first one was super short. It was his debut. You can give him a break. But the second one, I actually picked Max in the second one, and he was the favorite, and Dustin destroyed him, you know? Now, it is 5 years later, so it's a more interesting fight. Yeah, I don't mind it. Or, I mean, dude, is Max and Gaethje not a great fight too? Or,
Max versus Hooker.
Or, sorry, I mean, not Hooker, sorry. He fought Gaethje. Dan Hooker was the fight I was thinking. I think it's a great fight, right? It's a fun, and they could easily put the BMF belt on the line.
Yeah.
Would that be a main event for a pay-per-view, though? I guess it would be, right?
I wouldn't put it on a pay-per-view main event. Not a main event.
Max, no?
No, not Hooker. Max, yes, but not Hooker.
Yeah.
But, but listen, man, if they don't have a title fight for a pay-per-view, they might do it. But, we'll see.
They could also do that, I remember they're going back to Louisiana next year for Poirier's. I don't know, Poirier keeps saying he's doing the Conor thing now, which really annoys me, Marcel. I gotta be honest with you. I love Dustin, but, come on, man. Don't do this. We'll go down the Conor route. I mean, the other option is Conor, too. Conor and Max rematch would be interesting.
Yeah.
So, but I just don't trust Conor, and I wouldn't sign to fight him. You're going to just sit out for 2 years and never fight. This comment really got me in stitches, Marcel. Marcel's goatee has a mustache. Are you doing the Movember thing, though, with, just this? You know what I'm talking about, Movember? It's where you keep a mustache for November for cancer.
No, I'm just sometimes too lazy to how to say that. But the thing is, I don't have, a lot of hair growing here. You see? It's not that much, so it's okay. Only this looks kind of like hobo-ish. I should do this a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, Marcel. It does a little bit, yeah. I have to shave too, but I might do the mustache again. I did it last year. I rocked it for a month. Maybe I'll do the mustache again.
Yeah, but you're how do you say that? You're from Greek descent, you have a lot of hair growing.
Dude, you can see my chest today too. I realized halfway through the podcast I had my shirt unbuttoned. I don't even care. But
if you don't fucking shave, you look like Roy Nelson within 2 or 3 days with your beard like that. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. All right, a couple more comments. Thoughts on the break from the Apex events? They're not taking a break, man. They're really,
December.
It's just 1 month, and they're back. Was it January
11th?
What's the main event for that?
It's not no main event yet.
No rumors?
No.
Okay. Dustin fighting in March. Think it'll be Fiziev? I mean, Fiziev's another guy I've kind of not forgotten about, but he's been injured for a while, right?
You're like that Swedish dude, that Rostam Akman.
Yeah. If you don't know who that is, Rostam Akman fought twice or once in the UFC, right? He got cut.
Yeah, once or twice he have a sweater when he fights.
Well, just like suicide. Yeah, I was I do. Dude, it is. You know what you got to do? You guys have seen that movie, The 4-Year-Old Virgin, where he puts the wax on and he screams? Kelly Clarkson. Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes of all time. I gotta do that, man. I haven't had a non-shaved chest since I was a teenager, or maybe preteen.
I've barely any hair.
Oh God. I haven't seen fully unbuttoned shirt. Go watching these perfect capture. Oh my God. Maybe if the MMA thing doesn't work out for me, Blake. With the bantamweight title fight, Sean really gonna get a rematch. I think it's going to end up being Umar, but here's what I say about Umar.
Yeah.
Umar is annoying me because he's barely fought in the UFC. He has 5 fights over the last 4 or 5 years. He fights once a year. He's trying to fight on his schedule when he's not the champion. You fight when Merab's ready. Merab waited And here's the thing, Marcel. If Merab didn't have to win 10 fights in a row and get screwed in the other 2 fights and wait like 6 years to get a title shot, then I'd have a different thought about this. But he waited so long to fight for the belt, finally won it. I think Merab should get a chance to have fun and do his handstands, Marcel. I think that's I think he's an opportunity right now to take a few months off and party. I'm not going to say anything else about that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I think he has a chance. He should get a time right now to just relax. You know, what do you think?
I'm kind of in between because I felt like Umar deserves a title shot based on beating Corey Sandhagen. Yes. At the same time, he doesn't. How do you say that? He doesn't say when it is or when it will be. Yes. You know. So I'm kind of in between it. You know what I mean? I see both sides. But
yeah, and other people have said like Bilal fought during Ramadan when he fought. I think it was Gilbert Burns, right? I think.
Yeah, and also Chance Rencounter. He also fought during Ramadan.
Yeah, so I mean, if Umar's, and that's the thing, Umar. I don't know if it's him or if it's Ali doing his tweets. I'm not sure, but they're kind of almost making this like a religion thing now. It's kind of annoying to me. It's like, no, dude, like this guy is a champ. He gets to call the shots. You don't. You're a challenger. You don't get to say when the fight's going to be. The whole thing with him going back and forth at the Song Yadong fight, I have no idea if that's true or not. You have any insight into that, though?
I mean, I know that what I've been told is that Umar agreed to it and Song didn't agree to it because he couldn't do it. That's pretty much what I know.
All right.
So,
I mean, honestly, that fight doesn't make a whole lot of sense anyways. Like, Song's coming off the loss to Peter on. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It was like a place filler fight for Tampa, but now they have Ian Machado, Gary, and Buckley anyways as the main event, which that's 5 rounds, right, by the way? That's 5 rounds?
What's one?
Yeah, Machado and Buckley.
Yeah, it's the main event, man.
They only have a month, though. I mean, I just wasn't sure because they only have a month till this card, or 5 weeks, I should say.
5 rounds.
Yeah. Also, I hate how people are trying to undermine Masvidal. Masvidal's good. We actually had a discussion about this in the Discord. Masvidal's a good fighter, man, but he's not the most exciting guy. And again, you know, you kind of got to finish fights. By the way, I forgot this comment. Dirty Reg asked about Mansur and RDR, so there you go. He says he likes the money lines. Yeah, a little bit more quote-unquote safe. Lazy Bay wants baklava on some waxing. Yeah,
baklava is so good.
You had it right. It's so good.
Oh, so I mean, there's like 2 streets from here. There is a mosque.
Street place.
Well, yeah, that they have there a store and they have like fresh baklava. And when I was still delivering mail, I was hungry, I got some baklava and I ate something when I was delivering. So, man, good time.
Ask a question, by the way. You used to deliver the mail. Were you you rode the bike around? Is that
yeah. Bike.
Like it's like a bicycle or what is it?
Yeah, bicycle. Yeah, just a bicycle. Yeah.
You still ride the bike or no?
Yeah, if I have to go somewhere, I do. Yeah.
There you go.
It's like a fat guy on a bicycle. It's like
I was gonna say you could go from the top of Netherlands to like Belgium in like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't have to. If you go up the mountain, it's fucking horrible. You know what I mean? It was always when I was back at school. You know, when I went to school from my home, it's like all going down, so it's pretty easy. And then you have a whole school day, and you're fucking tired, and you go back home, and everything is mountain up. You know, it's like, dude.
Do you have a car, Marcel, or no? Do you drive a car?
No, I don't drive a car.
Do you have a license or no?
Yeah, I should get it anytime soon because I think it would be very handy. The thing is, like, sure I never needed it. I never needed it, you know. So
I totally understand. Where I am, I'm you know, out here in Toronto. There's in the suburbs, you definitely need a car, you know. For sure.
I understand. You know, it's a much bigger country, much bigger.
Oh, for sure. That's the thing. You know, and again, it's not your guys' fault. You don't know, but it's like people are like, "Are you driving to? Are you going to Edmonton?" It's like, yeah, 34-hour drive, guys. No, Montreal though, I will go. It's like 5-6 hours. I'll go to Montreal.
And that's even listen. If you do 5 hours and you go,
you're in England,
I'm in the south. No, I'm not in England. But if I'm going from the south to the north and I go 5 hours up, I'm probably somewhere in Germany or Denmark. You know what I mean? So it's like that's crazy. And England is like 1 hour, I think, with the plane or something, you know. But most people go with the how do you say that, the underground with the train.
Yeah. Okay, a couple more comments here. Do you guys think it'll be Strickland DDP in February? DDP Hamza. I think it's going to be Strickland. I think
so too.
In Sydney, main event.
Yeah, that's what I think, and I think they will do probably the winner against Combs at International Fight Week.
That makes sense, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Where's Oliveira, Chandler Winner go? That's a great question. I mean, they could be in line to fight Max.
Fight for the title. I think Dana said it's official number 1 contender fight. So
really? So they're going to be fighting the winner of Arman and
yeah.
It isn't Rob's problem. Boomer can't fight. I mean, I agree with you. True. The first time we agreed. No, I'm kidding. But no, I think that it's not his fault. You don't. If you're not the champ, you don't call it shots. Dude, everything's close there, Antoine. What is that? What is the word?
That's vacuum cleaner.
Oh God. Oh, why do you know that?
Yeah, I wanted to.
What's the public translation of your guys' country called? Marta? What is that, Antoine? Is that like subway or something? They have the TTC here, Toronto Transit Commission. That's like subway, buses, rail, like streetcar, rail car. Then they also have the GO train, which is like a train. They're trying to improve it, but it's not great, but it's not horrible either, I guess.
Magomedov, who got the win last week against Ferreira.
Yeah.
He never goes by bicycle, right? He always takes a bus.
That's why his cardio isn't good. Is that where you're making a joke? Or?
No, a bus.
Oh,
come on, dude. Jesus.
My bad. All right, we're going to do the last comment here. We both picked Gillian Robertson. Go back and listen to the picks if you want, though, for the rest.
But we both picked Gillian.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Marcel, the podcast, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you again for joining us for the MMAOB Daily Podcast. You guys can follow us on Twitter at MMAdammartin, at BigMarcel24, Twitter and Instagram for all your fight news. We are here usually every Sunday, guys, doing the recap and preview. If you missed it, UFC Edmonton recap, or listen. If you missed UFC Vegas 100 preview, go back and listen. Give a shout out to our guys at Bet105 for sponsoring the podcast. Appreciate them. Show them some love. And like, share, subscribe, guys. Appreciate you. And let's get out of here, Marcel. And Antoine, thanks again, man. Yeah, next week, guys. Should be next Sunday again. Appreciate that, man. Thanks, guys. Have a great week, everyone. Good luck with your bets. Peace.